This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck or just to get the latest booster packs in town, they literally have everything, even the Fusion Strike stuff. So be sure to head over to the website PotownStore.com and use that coupon code ZapDoesTCG for 5% off. Also, head over to cardsmarket.com if you're a European player. This website is fantastic. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe, and I personally use it every single day to get rid of cards that I don't need to buy new ones. Use the referral name ZapDoesTCG and you're helping out the channel tremendously. Last but certainly not least is yourplaymat.com. This website is fantastic when you create your own unique custom playmat. They ship worldwide, and of course right now you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So start creating your own unique custom playmat for the new season. So thanks for sticking with the commercials. Let's get this video on the roll. Peace. What's up YouTube, it's ZapDoesTCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG content, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't ever miss a single upload. Today we're going to be taking a look at the meta in Japan. Japan is now playing the same format that we're going to be playing in very shortly, and that means Sword and Shield all the way through Brilliant Star. So we already have a little bit of an idea of which decks are going to become very good as always. Yeah, if you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out every single day, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out in many ways. And today we're going to be giving you guys a lot of deck lists. I already created a lot of deck lists myself. I created deck lists for stuff like Malamar, Salazzle, Charizard deck, Arceus VSTAR with Raichu. So many deck profiles are up on the channel, so feel free to check them out if you haven't already by clicking that playlist. But for now, we're going to be taking a look at a successful Japanese list. These are league, lists that actually did well in league challenges, aka league challenges, league cups, and that sort of amount of people, like 22 players. Some even had like 50 players showing up, but it's not a huge, big regional, so don't take it all too serious because a lot of these lists are not refined quite yet and could actually get improved on by when the time goes by. So when we get these cards finally on the release date, the 25th of February, we're gonna have an idea of which decks are actually performing quite well. This is a pie chart right now. A lot of these league challenges and league cups happening in Japan. It's very curious to see that decks like Malamar have shoved their way into the tier 1 archetype. Also, Arceus VSTAR is legit. It has been seen paired up with Ice Rider, has been seen paired up with Counterbox shenanigans, seen paired up with Shadow Rider. So Arceus VSTAR is legit. Mew VMAX still being the best deck in the format is not surprising whatsoever, because as we've learned with Mew VMAX, it can donk people, it's very fast, and now it even gains Ultra Ball and Choice Belt, which helps out the deck even further. Malamar now has, of course, the protection of the Manaphy, protecting the bench from getting damaged by stuff like Jolteon or G-Max Rapid Flows. We see that Gengar also is a little bit better, and people have left their single strike Urshifu VMAXs at home and instead went full on Gengar, which is not surprising whatsoever, because combined with Choice Belt, Gengar VMAX is now able to one-hit KO anything in the game, basically just with the help of the single strike energies. Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX is not dead quite yet. It is still hanging on there, and I've seen a lot of lists pairing it up with the Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX, being that water type, as well as the double gunner ability. If you combine that with, of course, some quick shooters and stuff like Medicham, you will still have an answer against Manaphy. So Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, don't throw them in the bin quite yet, because they are still good. Then we see that Ice Rider is making a huge impact in the format. A lot of lists are popping up with Ice Rider and the Duraludon VMAX as well. There's still some decks we're going to be talking about that are on the lower percentage of the popularity pie chart here, but we're going to be talking about it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of lists on Twitter and actually saved all of them, so you can guys have a little bit of an understanding of how the format and the deck list look like. So let's just start off with the Duraludon VMAX. The surprise of everybody, the Duraludon VMAX is very good in today's format already, but pair that up with a lot of lists running double turbo energy, and the Duraludon VMAX becomes invincible just because of its ability, Skyscraper ability, allowing it to be immune from damage from Pokemon with special energies, makes the Duraludon very good. And fair enough, you just can set it up in one turn. You could utilize the Trinity Charge on the Arceus V. And as a little side note, if you want to have translations for all these popular cards, go check out my top 20 best cards of course, Brilliant Stars. It is in the description below. And then you're going to have a better understanding of what these cards actually are if you have no clue what they do. But for now, Arceus VSTAR allows you to get any 2 cards from the deck with its VSTAR power, and that is very good because you can instantly find yourself that single strike mustard on top of Ultra Ball to clear out your hand and just get a Duraludon VMAX out of nowhere. That's also the reason why there's 3 Duraludon VMAX and only 2 Duraludon V. They actually wanted to have the extra space for, of course, stuff like the single strike mustard, which is very cool because you can get it instantly from the deck. Nothing much to say about this list. Duraludon VMAX gets the addition of Arceus VSTAR, and Arceus VSTAR is also a formidable attacker, being able to KO a lot of Pokemon with that, of course, attack, slapping 200 damage. You have to take into consideration the 20 reduction of the double turbo energy, but Choice Belt neglects that a little bit, so I think Duraludon VMAX is going to be well placed, and if you are only running special energies, you will fear Duraludon VMAX, of course, because of its high potential of healing, with, of course, cards like the Crystal Cave. I don't see Team Yell Towels in here, so they instead opted to go for Big Charm, making this a very tanky deck to just face off. You might wonder what this is. This is Professor's Research, the Rowan version, and this is Boss's Orders, the Cyrus version. So these are Diamond and Pearl remake cards that we're getting in Brilliant Stars as well. Yeah, another list here on Duraludon, and this fella just decided to go for Cramomatics, and if the Cramomatics are heads, also Cramomatic is very expensive in Japan. We are very lucky that it is being printed as a regular uncommon card in the Fusion Strike set, because in Japan they actually pay kind of amount of money for a playset of Cramomatic because it's a promo right there. What do we see is the, this is a card we don't see very often, is Boost Shake, and it allows you to evolve instantly, but your turn ends. That means if you have Duraludon, you can just poof, out of nowhere, you evolve, which also helps out for Arceus VSTAR. You can get Arceus VSTAR a little bit more tanky because Arceus V instantly evolves into Arceus VSTAR, but this is mainly used to get Duraludon VMAX instantly into play, so the attacks of Arceus will be doing 0 damage, and there's 4 copies of that in there. Other than that, we do still see the Averys in there to lower the opponent's bench, and there's 4 Bulbasaurs in there, so 3 Big Charms as well, so a very tanky Duraludon VMAX list for sure, and a lower amount of Arceus here, and we do see that with Boost Jake, you can instantly go into that VMAX. This is another version, but the thing is clear, right? People are running Single Strike Mustard to get it out. We have Big Charms to make it more tanky, and Crystal Cave just heals time and time again. And with, of course, a high amount of people playing Arceus VSTAR, it's only mandatory. It's only like logical that the Duraludon VMAX is going to be very good. Next is a Mat Party list. Woohoo! Mat Party is back. Will it be better than ever before? Probably not, but it's nice to see one of these lists actually doing pretty well. We do see there's a small Chinchino package into this Mat Party list, which is very nice because the Minchino has Call for Family, and on top of that, you can also utilize the Make Do on the Chinchinos to discard Mat Party Pokemon. For every Mat Party in your discard pile, you're slapping 20 damage. And of course, with Ultra Ball, this deck actually gained Manaphy to protect the bench. It gained Ultra Ball to discard more Pokemon, and Choice Belt to dish out more damage. So the deck is a little bit more refined to just be consistent as ever before. You can 2-shot VMAXs. Will you ever get, of course, the numbers to the V-Star mechanic? I don't know. If the opponent just throws a lot of V-Stars at you, it's going to be difficult because you only get 2 prize cards for that. What else can we see in a list like this is that they are running a couple of basic Psychic Energies on top of a Raihan package. This will help out against the Duraludon or maybe Whimsicott builds that just shut down your special energies. Then you can just utilize that Psychic Energy instead, which could help out. Yeah, other than that, just having the Lumineon V in here to just fetch Research because, or maybe the Raihan in the late game, but yeah, interesting list. You don't see the Collapse Stadium in here, which is something I included in my list. Next up, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX gets a huge buff. We have Leon and Choice Belt with quick shooting. Make sure that the max lance attack of Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX can now one-hit KO anything in the game. Very, very nice to see. We still have, of course, that package of the Melanie and the quick shooting Shady Dealings Inteleon engine in there. Now we have ways to protect our Sobbles from the pesky Jolteons with, of course, Manaphy. And we can get, of course, the Manaphy into play very easily because it's levelable, searchable. This list is also running a high amount of Evolution Ensigns. This is very peculiar. They are running 3 Quick Ball, 3 Level Ball, and 4 Evolution Ensigns. So they definitely want to have that second turn Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, if I'm being honest. And with, of course, Choice Belt, you're going to be slapping a huge amount of damage. Also, by itself, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX is able to one-hit KO any V-Star Pokemon currently printed. And that helps out a ton. There's also Charon Scary in here, which helps out if you just early game attack with Arceus VSTAR. You can get it back instantly in the hand, and you can surge it out with Shady Dealing, so I love that factor. What do we see here? Another list opted to go like the previous list, is only running the Path to the Peak to shut down the abilities of all rule box Pokemon. This actually decided to go for an additional training core to get energies back. Is that even sufficient with Melanie in the list as well? I don't know, but they still included it in here. And Leon seems to be like the norm here, if I'm being honest. Leon with, of course, Choice Belt is very, very strong. Nothing too different from the previous list, and they did cut the Manaphy. So Manaphy is some sort of a Pokemon that you say like, will I run Manaphy? Is like in the days with Aegislash and Decidueye, right? When Decidueye is very, very hyped, people attack in their Aegislash and they automatically win. Same story here, they automatically attack in their Manaphy and they win against Jolteon and Rapstrike Urshifu VMAX, or do they? And then out of nowhere, the deck, like Jolteon is under the radar, people remove their Manaphy and then boom, they get slaughtered. So it's going to be back and forth, that's how the meta goes. I love that factor that people can tack in some cards and sometimes they are not included. Also very similar to the Greninja Break story that I had in the London Internationals, where I just played Greninja Break and I see a lot of Giratina promo cards. It was horrifying. Moving forward, yeah, we have an Ice Rider list running the new Bibarel, allowing you to draw cards until you have 5 cards in hand. I love that factor because now you can actually utilize a lot of your draw power instantly because you have Ultra Ball and Quick Ball. You don't have cherry picking with, of course, shady dealings, but instead you have Lumineon, Crobat, and the Bibarel to get yourself the cards you want. The thing I probably would change here is the one-off Judge, because this Judge, I know it shuffles and sometimes people protect themselves from Marnies with Oranguru or stuff like the switching cups, but yeah, Marnie is 1,000 times better, so I probably will cut that if you see this list. But the main thing is clear: Tool Scrapper becomes more impactful in the format, and that's just to counteract with those high amount of choice ballots in the format. Double Turbo Energy, as you can see, so a lot of special energies. Duraludon has its nice covered, but of course Ice Rider Calyrex can just one-hit KO. And in this list, you don't have Quick Shooting on top of it, so I also don't see Leon, so this is a less optimal build in my opinion. This is also a list not running the Inteleon engine, and instead opted to go for the Lumineon, Crobat, and not even Bibarel as well. They just say, oh, Arceus VSTAR can get me anything I want, and they do run cross switchers in this list over the high amount of Bulbasaurs that we saw earlier. Okay, so lots of Ice Riders. Now let's talk about Gengar. Gengar VMAX is the preferred single strike card in the meta. I haven't seen a lot of single strike Urshifu VMAXs, and that's probably gonna be the mainstay here, because maybe it's also the reason that Japan just rotated their Sun and Moon block out, so they don't have GXs anymore, so people just grab to something that they say like, oh, Gengar now hits everything because it just dishes out more damage for every V Pokemon. That could make sense, but I think Gengar VMAX has a high amount of potential just because of the fact, listen to this, single strike energy, and of course choice belt. You're going to be hitting huge numbers. That's already 320 damage. Adding in another single strike energy is 340. It's actually ridiculous of how strong Gengar VMAX can actually become. On top of that, his first attack, Fear and Panic, is the name. You can slap 60 damage for every V Pokemon in play with strong. I was gonna say strong energies with single strike energies. On top of choice belt, you're actually gonna be sometimes one-hit KOing people with just a low amount of effort because they're just over-benching on V Pokemon, which a lot of decks do. To be honest, decks like Mew just slap down an army of Genesects. Other than that, there's also the Arceus builds, getting of course Arceus and their main attacker. So Gengar has it good. We of course see Team Yell Towel to heal 50 from both active, which doesn't matter because you're planning to one-hit KO anyhow. And Big Charm also gets you out of range from stuff like the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, which we just talked about. Other than that, nothing too interesting except for the Karen's Conviction. Karen's Conviction allows you to slap 20 more damage for every prize card the opponent has already taken. On top of single strike energies, on top of the choice belt, Gengar is gonna be a one-hit KO machine, which is very cool because they're probably gonna be hunting down your Houndoom. But in the late game, you're gonna be able to utilize Karen's Conviction on top of your single strike energies and choice belt to just one-hit KO with Fear and Panic, which is also very, very good. Another updated Gengar list. This is running still one copy of Single Strike Urshifu V. It's very nice to just get that attack of 180 flat, and you can one-hit KO Eternatus, you can one-hit KO Jolteon. Eternatus also has a little bit of resurgence here and there. Not the most popular deck by all means, but it's around, so I do understand the tech card of the Single Strike Urshifu V. Umbreon for Gusting, and then yeah, another Karen's Conviction in here. Also running Battle VIP Pass, 2 copies. that's just bad. If either you're running 4 copies or you're running no copies. That's my take on Battle VIP Pass, personally. So I personally would add 4 copies if you're going for that Battle VIP Pass, or just maximize on Ultra Ball and Quick Ball is probably even better than Battle VIP Pass in a list like this, I would say. But it's just a good feeling getting out 2 Houndours with Battle VIP Pass, so I understand. On top of Tower of Darkness to draw cards, you also have Path to the Peak to shut down abilities, and most importantly, shut down VSTAR abilities. There's also the Piers in here, which is very cool because now you can fetch out your Special Energy and a Darkness Pokemon. You will see a lot of Piers list as well in some Arceus builds. There's a Gengar with Bibarel, so we see also with one of Mew from the Celebration set. And nothing new under the horizon here. Just Karen's Conviction seems to be on all these Gengar lists. Except for this one. This is just running Weezing, Galarian Weezing, shutting down all abilities except for the neutralizing gas. We already know that. With Hiding Dark Energies, you have free retreat. So early game, you just slap down a Coughing, evolve instantly with the Ascension to Weezing, slow the opponent down, and when you're ready to attack with Gengar, you free retreat thanks to the Hiding Dark Energies, use Boss's Orders, and Gengar just one-hit KOs anything. And the cool thing is you can fetch out your supporter of choice with Lumineon. And then this Gengar list is listening to me and getting 4 copies of the Battle VIP Pass. Just saying, a very consistent list with 4 Battle VIP Pass, 4 Houndour, 4 Houndoom, Research Marnie, Pokegear. So you don't actually need anything else. This is the more consistent build. I wonder why the Spiral Energy is in here. Maybe, I don't know. Why would the Spiral Energy be in here? I think this is going to be the card that prevents you from getting paralyzed, I would say. Any of those, it's an interesting take. Let me know in the comments if you know why the Spiral Energy is in there. The Malamar, my favorite deck in the new meta will be Malamar, and the reason for that is that I was a huge Blacephalon player. And this is very similar. Instead of Fire Energies in your hand, you need Rapid Strike cards in hand. Show them to your opponent and shuffle them in the deck, and that's how much damage you dish out. For every Rapid Strike card you reveal, 40 damage. And that for just 1 energy on the 1 prize Pokemon. Of course, Manaphy, the most busted card for 1 prizers, is here to protect the day. And there's of course the Inteleon engine fetching out Cynthia's Guidance, Cynthia's Aspiration, whatever the translation will be. That supporter allows you to draw cards until you have 5 in hand, but if a Pokemon got knocked out during the opponent's last turn, you get 8 cards. So 1 card advantage over Bruno, and I think that's very, very strong. Probably would cut down the Zinnias instantly, shut down the Zinnias, and just add in 2 copies of Bruno, or just 1 copy of Karina and 1 copy of Bruno. There's also 1 of Boss's Orders in here. Understandable, because you can fetch that out with Shady Dealings. But I'm not a big fan of the Inteleon build. I know we have like the 1 Quick Shooter, and it's also Rapid Strike, and you can shuffle stuff in the deck, and you have the Sabo, which can get out Rapid Strike Pokemon on the bench. I'm a bigger fan of the Chinchino build, but I do understand the energy count is just 4 Spiral Energies. And yeah, the other one was Impact Energy, not Spiral Energy. Spiral Energies for the Rapid Strikes, yeah. Makes sense. Sorry for that little mistake, although you probably already know it by yourself. So we have Rescue Carries and Ordinary Route, so you automatically win against Jolteon. I've tested this out. You can easily get Manaphy into play with Lava Ball, and it's going to be fantastic for you. You can always get it back with Shady Dealings. You can fetch the cards you want. So you protect yourself from bench damage, and this is going to be a one-hit KO deck. It's going to be very good, as we've seen in the pie chart. This list is the more streamlined version of the Inteleon, and is running 2 copies of Hoppip, strangely enough. Hoppip you can get out with Lava Ball, you can get out with Great Ball, but this is probably very bad. And this is just a meme probably, because you have that Stadium card, and this Hoppip probably should have been a Skiploom, if I'm being honest, because with the Turffield Stadium you can get out Skiploom. This is just a Hoppip, so don't bother about this list. Let's just move forward. This is the list I am more comfortable with playing, is the Chinchino build. This is with Great Balls, yeah, 4 Great Ball, 4 Lava Ball, 4 Fog Crystal, 4 Evolution Essence, almost exactly like my list, but also added in 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass on top of that. They did cut down on Manaphy, which is a little bit of a bold move. I probably would not do that in a format still with very powerful bench attackers. There's of course 2 Rescue Stretchers, Scoop on that, 4 Cynthia's Guidance, so you just run on getting your bench full of Minchinos and Malamars and stuff with the Battle VIP passes, and then this list probably would cut down 1 Great Ball for 1 Battle VIP pass. Again, either you play 4 or you play 0, but I understand the appeal of this list. My list is also up on my channel. It's a little bit different than this, but it has the same streamlined version of Chinchino to draw cards. This is going to be the way you can get out stuff with Turffield Stadium. You can get that jump level out time and time again. Even if you shuffle it back in, you can utilize it. I wonder why they also play Hoppip. for the memes, I guess. This Hoppip is probably a Skiploom, right? Skiploom and Jumpluff. I think that's a mistake. So you can get these cards instantly, and you can also get the Skiploom then with the Lava Ball, so that does make sense. And Cynthia's Aspiration is going to be the mainstay. Only one copy of Bruno, so lower down on the Bruno count and add it up on the Cynthia's Guidance, because you do get cards until you have 8 in hand, which is way more impactful. This list is also running Brawly. Not a big fan of Brawly, to be honest. There's a lot of Malamar lists out there. This is going to be another card with Brawly on top of the Inteleon engine. So, and again, 4 copies of Cynthia's Aspiration, Cynthia's Guidance. Next is going to be a counter box deck with Arceus VSTAR. You see the Yveltal in there, the 25th anniversary Yveltal, being able to get rid of 3 special energies, probably for the Mew matchup, so you can get rid of all their Fusion Strike energies. There's a Ditto which can transform into either Hoopa, Galarian Zapdos, or Galarian Moltres, whatever you choose. Could even transform into Arceus V as well if you want to. So you utilize Arceus VSTAR, its attack, to get all these energies onto your attackers. Moltres can take care of the Mew. Zapdos can take care of also Mew, but because of the fact that with Choice Bell you can get an early game KO on Mew, by the way. If they have like Mew, Genesect. Mew has 180 HP with a reduction. Yeah, we don't see Galarian Zigzagoon, so that would not work. So we do see that the attack of Galarian Zapdos slaps 170, with Choice Bell is 200. But of course with resistance of Mew it's only 170. So if you want to be having early game pressure onto Mew with a Galarian Zapdos, then maybe a Galarian Zigzagoon could be a nice option. I don't know if any of these lists do run that, but this list is running Pumpkaboo to get rid of probably the Path to the Peak, because you are in dire need of your Dire Flame Wings, no pun intended, or your abilities. There's a lot of Pokemon abilities in here. Echoing Horn, also make sure if you can knock out a big boy, you can get it back on the discard pile and do it again. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this counter box deck. You do have, of course, E-Switch, which you can fetch out instantly with Arceus V-Star's ability. Get enough energy switch instantly so you can attack with Hoopa V, so you can take care. You have Psychic type by your side because of Hoopa V's ability. You have Fighting type with Zapdos. You have Darkness type with Moltres, so it's a counter box deck. It also utilizes the Trainer Mall, which allows you, or actually the Shopping Mall allows you to swap around your tool cards. Air Balloon and Choice Belt in particular. Okay. This is Rider Calyrex VMAX, its resurgence with Arceus V as well as Whimsicott V-Star. I love the one-off, the 1-1 line of Whimsicott V-Star in practice. This has won a lot of games because you shut down the opponent from playing special energies. And if the opponent only plays special energies, for instance Mad Party, you instantly win, which is very cool. Shadow Rider does have that Galarian Darkness weakness, sharing that with, of course, Mew VMAX is not the greatest thing ever. This list is running Adventurous Discovery to, of course, get some V Pokemon out of the list. Very cool because you can get Arceus on top of Shadow Rider, and then the next turn you attack with the Trainer Discharge, and then get some Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX until you have so many energies in play that you can one-hit KO with Max Geist. The new cards, of course, Choice Bell helps out a lot. I probably would go into a 2 count of that because of the one-hit KO potential, and helping out Arceus with the Trinity Smack. I don't know what it is, but it slaps 200, but with Choice Bell and Double Turbo, you do get some significant numbers going. Yeah, for sure. This is an interesting list. Then there's Rayquaza, also having a very strange Pikachu V Union in the list. It is now easier than ever to fetch out these puzzle pieces with Arceus V-Star. You can utilize the V-Star power, get 2 puzzle pieces instantly, and if you already have Ultra Ball in your hand as well, you can get all the puzzle pieces, discard them instantly with, of course, Arceus with Rayquaza VMAX, summon the Pikachu V Union, and you slap a huge amount of damage while item locking, so I do understand the appeal on that. I probably would include definitely a copy of Manaphy. Not seeing Manaphy in here is making me a little bit skeptical on a list like this. Also, Pioneer can fetch your V-Union puzzle pieces, but this is more than a meme. I probably don't think it's going to be high level tier. Then the one prize Darkness deck that we got familiar with. Of course, Hoopa and Galarian Moltres are the best friends ever, and Hoopa is for the early game pressure onto stuff like Meloetta or stuff like Subble. And then the Galarian Moltres with, of course, the Malevolent Charge, accelerating 2 Darkness energies instantly, allows you to one-hit KO Mew VMAX and win that matchup instantly. There's also Purification Gloves, allowing to slap more damage against Psychic-type Pokemon. I wonder why that is in there for. Could be interesting. There's also the Rapid Strike Energy in here, which you can fetch with the Raihan, and that means you can set up the Rapid Strike Urshifu V to deal with Jolteon. So I do understand why there's no Manaphy in this list, though. Although I'm always a fan of just including the one-off copy. Clara, of course, getting the Pokemon back and energies. Another version of a deck like this, but instead of relying on the Rapid Strike Urshifu V, they opted to go for Galarian Zapdos V. very easy to set up. Just one attachment and boom, off you go if the opponent has a lot of V Pokemon in play. The problem I see here is that's only running one Stadium card. That's a little bit of a mistake if I'm being honest, because of the fact that Zapdos is not going to be doing too much if the opponent snaps down a Path to the Peak. So that's a little bit of a misguidance from the opponent, from the player creating a list like this. I do love the Shady Dealings engine because then you can cherry pick your Raihan at the correct time and slap huge damage with Crazy Claws, Sableye. Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. Very interesting that it is now, of course, getting the choice belt it deserves to just go for 2 shots. On top of quick shooting is very good for a deck like this. 4 copies of Cheryl will make sure you can get, of course, that healing effect every single turn. And with, of course, Octillery, you can fetch out some cards, for instance, the Rapid Strike Energy. The problem I see with this list is it's only running 3 copies of the Rapid Strike Energy, so they were very greedy on their deck choice. The good news is that it always goes back to the hand, and you have Path to the Peak to deal with the Duraludon VMAX. Is it going to be enough? You're probably not going to be winning the Stadium War, but with quick shooting, you might actually do the job and KO a big Duraludon VMAX, but facing off against 2 of them is going to be hard, mark my words. Next is a Dhelmise VMAX list with Arceus VSTAR. As you can see, a lot of lists work out with Arceus VSTAR. Quick shooting on top of Arceus VSTAR and gets you everything you ever wanted, and the Zarude there can heal off all damage from your Dhelmise VMAX, so that it could be interesting, right? Or is it a different Zarude V? Anyhow, it could be a different Zarude V. Could it be the new one? Anyhow, this Dhelmise is just about sniping huge damage with its attack, and the max anchor attack slaps 240, with Choice Belt 270 is very good, and quick shooting can get you the numbers as well, so I understand the appeal of that card with, of course, the upcoming meta. A thing that we have not seen very often is Charizard and Raichu decks, so I wonder where they at. This is going to be a very strange Arceus VSTAR list with Mewtwo V Union, and the only goal here is setting up Mewtwo V Union to go crazy and go berserk with the Choice Belt. You're going to be able to one-hit KO anything with the Mewtwo V Union. You use the Arceus VSTAR to get, of course, the puzzle pieces of the V Union, so people are testing out V Unions. Will they ever see more play than ever before? We will have to figure that out, and with Big Charm, you turn your Arceus a little bit more tanky. The Galarian Articuno can also discard some V-Union puzzle pieces because you summon it from the discard pile. This is going to be a Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX with Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, so a little bit of a split between both. And this is running, of course, Melanie and Raihan, so you can set up a G-Max Rapid Flow in 1 turn. I understand that appeal. Only 2 Cheryl, so you also have Metachan on top of 2 quick shooters. Will that be enough? Probably, because you have the basic water energies and you have the double gunner ability of the Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX. So if Manaphy ever pops up, you use double gunner, quick shoot, Metacham, boom, it's your turn again, G-Max Rapid Flow. It could be a thing. It could definitely be a thing. And yeah, nothing else to say about this. It's also running 1 copy of Brawly. I am not a fan of Brawly whatsoever. Definitely a 1 count. How can you even grab that? No Pokegear, no early game where you can fetch it. No, not my style. This is a version focused more on Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. You just hope that the opponent is not playing Manaphy, or they don't get it out in time, and then you can just go rampant with Melanie and Rapid Strike Energy, which you can fetch with Octillery. And this list, again, scratch the judge for the copy of Marnie instead. Okay, we have a Malamar VMAX list out of nowhere, a Darkness build. Of course, if as soon as you're running Galarian Moltres, you're actually going to be able to have a great matchup against Mew VMAX. Pair that up with the Max Jammer attack, being able to just put a select card from the opponent's hand and put it on the bottom of the deck with Crushing Hammers is going to be quite annoying on top of Path to the Peak. So you basically want to put the opponent a little bit stuck while 2-shotting, and yeah, having the Darkness type is definitely a great advantage to just one-hit KO Shadow Rider, as well as, of course, the Mew VMAX. And the thing we have not seen is Dracopult as well. Dracopult seems to be completely gone. Charizard. Instead of relying on the crazy builds that we've seen with a lot of abilities, this is running a Chinchino engine to discard those fire energies and then accelerate them instantly to the Charizard. With Choice Belt, you're going to be able to one-hit KO anything with that V-Star attack, and you have the 1 prize Moltres to attack, of course, stuff like Meloetta, Subble, etc. Also, 3 copies of Raihan, so I do understand the appeal here. Instead of relying on Arceus VSTAR to power it up, you just manually attach, the following turn attach again, Magma Base and Raihan. That could be a thing because you sacrifice one of these Minchinos. Then, Eternatus VMAX seems to be back as well. look at this. This is a list that we are very fond of course, with 4 Crobat V and the Umbreon VMAX on top of the Tower of Darkness. Very similar, but this deck just gained Choice Belt, which helps the numbers ridiculously. We also still are running now some Galarian Zigzagoons to just get, of course, the one-hit KOs on VMAXs, because full bench with 2 Zigzags and a Choice Belt equals 320 damage, which is totally awesome. You don't always get it off, but you can always one-hit KO V-Stars, which is very good because, yeah, Eternatus is just back in the days of the tag teams. If you're able to one-hit KO every single time on a V-Star, you're gonna be golden, right? This list is running 3 copies of Galarian Zigzagoon, so they never want to be prizing one, and they also only play 1 Choice Belt. I'm not a fan of just playing 1 Choice Belt. Instead, they opted to go for some more disruption with the Fan of Waves. A lot of special energy is being played, so imagine the opponent goes first and they attach a double turbo energy. You want to get that straight from out of play with the Fan of Waves. And Tool Scrapper getting rid of Choice Belts. I don't know if that's going to be necessary. I think it's for air balloons to make them trap with Galarian. This is Rapstrike Inteleon VMAX with Arceus. Nothing much to say. Arceus can just slap huge damage, and you can finish off some stuff with Double Gunner. You can heal off with Chair and Scare time and time again, or even utilizing the new Stadium card, Collapse Stadium, allowing both players to only have 4 bench Pokemon. This allows you to just discard one of your Pokemon in play if you have 5 Pokemon, and that means you can heal. So interesting build. We'll see if it has an impact or not. Jolteon VMAX is still not dead. It is a tier 2 deck because everybody is afraid of Jolteon. They play Manaphy, but not all decks will play Manaphy, and that's where Jolteon will shine. A very consistent list with 4 Pat to the Peak, as we've come to know, 4 Marnies and 2 Fan of Waves. It's super annoying to be playing against, and it still has a great matchup against Mew. This is an updated version with Jolteon VMAX adding the new Rayquaza, which allows you to, of course, get some stuff done. Sometimes you can set up a Rayquaza in the back to just finish off. It's like a game-changing scenario where Rayquaza hits more damage than the 100 damage that the Max Thunder Rumble from Jolteon VMAX only provides. And this list is also running 2 copies of Cheryl. Then Mew VMAX, the best deck in the format. There's a bazillion lists out there, but this list, of course, embraced the 4 copies of Ultra Ball, has that, of course, 1 copy of the Double Turbo Energy and the 1 copy of the Choice Belt. It's a very similar list to the list I've posted. The problem I see with a list like this is that they have a low amount of Fog Crystals. So sometimes if they whiff the energy, they only have 1 Double Turbo Energy on top of that. So we still have 4 Mew, 3 Mew VMAX, and they of course are playing the Pumpkaboo to, of course, make sure you can get rid of that annoying Path to the Peak, which can leave yourself crippled, let's be honest. And there's also, of course, ways to draw more cards with the Rose Tower. Rose Tower now powerful than ever before in the Mew decks because they're high amount of Ultra Balls. And the Oricorio protects you, of course. Everybody's playing Choice Belt, so you want to make your Fusion Strike Pokemon a little bit more tanky, otherwise they just get one-shotted time and time again. So Oricorio, again in this list, 2 copies of the Double Turbo Energy, and yeah, the opponent here is actually playing 2 copies of Peony. Peony, yeah, how's it been, folks? It's been a while since I've seen a Mew list with Peony. Not a big fan of Peony anymore because Chrematic, Battle VIP Pass, and all that good stuff. The new cards, Choice Belt, 2 copies, definitely a 2 count in this list. Don't play 1 copies, that's just silly. I know you have Chrematic, but don't rely on Chrematic to find your Choice Belt. You want to draw into it naturally. There's also a Lumineon in here, which is not a Fusion Strike Pokemon, but you can utilize this to search out your supporter of choice. So that's why they only run 2 copies of Alessa Sparkle. And as long as they draw into Quick Ball or Ultra Ball, their chances of drawing into Alessa Sparkle gets like bazillion count higher. So they have more chances of donking. You don't want to start Lumineon, but a lot of these Mew lists are now playing Lumineon. This is also a list playing the Zapdos and an E-Search and a Peony. So Chrematic, Peony, E-Search, and you can get the Zapdos out as well and just slap damage. Could be interesting. Maybe to counteract that Eternatus is coming a little bit better in the format, so that is a pretty interesting take on the Mew list. So only 1 copy of Choice Belt, don't do that. Okay, 2 copies of Choice Belt, we're good again. 2 Pokemon Catcher on top of 3 Bulbasaur, so lots of gusting going around. 4 Battle VIP Pass, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Fog Crystal. Yeah, very similar to a list that I posted over at my channel. Only 2 copies of Stadium cards. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you never want to be doing that. I'm also not a big fan of Pumpkaboo. If you're playing Pumpkaboo, you also need Scoop Up Net because sometimes you get started with it. Another Pumpkaboo in here. So Japanese players are just in love with Pumpkaboo, so it seems. Instead of running a high amount of stadiums, they just run Pumpkaboo. I think running more stadiums is better because you can discard them instantly with, of course, Ultra Ball, so it doesn't matter right there. Training Cord getting the energies back, and also 1 copy of the Double Turbo Energy, which allows Mew VMAX to attach for 1 attachment. Insanity. Okay, let's see here. The previous list did not run Oricorio, but the majority of the people are running Oricorio here. And of course, the one of double turbo energy, 2 choice belt, and the 4 ultra ball. That seems to be the huge update that Mew VMAX gets actually from this set. So this looks very similar to my list right now. 3 switches, escape rope. I actually play 2 Rotom phone and then an additional fog crystal. So yeah, this is the list I'm more comfortable with, to be honest. So that's it for this video. So so many Japanese lists. The thing I have to note here is what happened to a lot of single strike Urshifu VMAX lovers. I think in Japan they just make sure that they play Gengar over single strike Urshifu VMAX. Ice Rider is also very nice to see that back in the format. Malamar being good, it just puts a smile upon my face because that means I know what I'm going to be playing for the next couple of years, maybe, because I was such a huge Blacephalon fan, so it's just nice to have a tier 1.5 deck that is going to be plays very similar, right? And yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Have a little insight of what's going to be popular, what's going to be played. As mentioned, these are not the most refined lists, but it gives you an idea to, of course, know what's going to be coming with Brilliant Stars. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways, and I put a lot of time and effort into creating this video, so hopefully you guys appreciate it. So yeah, go check out our sponsors as well. PokemonStore.com, the best place for TCGO code cards. Get 5% off using the coupon code TCG. Hoard over some packs, because when Brilliant Stars is out, you want to have some trade material. Maybe you have some spare Mew VMAXs that you can then trade for whatever you want from the new set. Also, go check out cardsmarket.com for European players. You can buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Definitely do so, because I recently purchased this one on Card Market. Karina Full Art, yeah, I'm preparing myself with Malamar. So purchase some cards as well. Use the referral name TCG. Last but not least, yourplaymat.com gets you covered if you are in dire need to create your own unique custom playmat. You can create a playmat today, get 10% of your order by clicking the link down below. They ship worldwide, so what are you waiting for? Create your fantastic playmat that you've always dreamed of. Anyhow, have yourself a fantastic rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace!